Hey everybody, it's Miss Sullivan talking multiplying and dividing decimals. When we multiply and divide decimals, it's really important to remember integer rules. So they're those integer rules for multiplication and division. Where the signs are the same, the answer is positive. Where the signs are different, the answer is negative. So let's have a little quick check here. -3, positive 9, because the signs are the same. Whereas 3 times -3, the answer is -9 because the signs are different. Again, 3 divided by 3, positive 1 because the signs are the same. Whereas -3 divided by 3 is -1 because the signs are different. Excellent. So integer rules apply, and we also have to give a quick little shout out again, BIDMAS. So first brackets, then indices, then you're looking division multiplication, moving left to right. So those two things are equivalent. And addition subtraction, moving left to right. Those two things are equivalent. But now we're looking at dividing and multiplying decimals. So a quick little reminder, when we did addition, it was really important to keep all our place values lined up. So 5 and 0 is 5, 0 and 0 is 0, 7 and 6 is 13, 8 and 1 is 9, decimal. 3 and 1 is 4, 2 and nothing is 2. So all of our little place values lined up. Tenths with tenths, hundreds with hundreds, thousands with thousandths, 10,000s with 10,000ths. When we're doing multiplication, it's different. So let's write them in to begin with. We've got 1.35 times -0.6. So it doesn't really matter that they're not in line. Let's get to work. 3 times 5 is 30. Carry the 3. 3 times 3 is 18, 19, 20, 21. 21. Carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 2. So 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Now, we've got 810. What we need to do is count the number of decimals places in total. So step 2 is count the decimals. We've got 1, 2, 3. So we 810, and we move this down 1, 2, 3. And don't forget, the signs were different, so the answer's negative. The answer to this equation is negative 0.81. So if you think about it, we just did it as though they were just whole numbers. We multiplied that like it was 6 times 135. Then we counted the decimal places at the end and moved that many to the left. To the left because we're dividing. Let's try this one. I'm just going to move the little one down onto the bottom because that's always easier. It'll just mean we've got to do less working out. So 4.312 times 2.7. 2.7. Okay, I leave the decimal place in there because I'm coming back to count it at the end. 7 times 2 is 14. 4, carry the 1. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. 7 times 3 is 21. There's 1, carry the 2. 7 times 4 is 28, and 2 makes 30. Now we're dealing with the next lot of units. Pop down a 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. And then you add them up. 4 and 0 is 4. 8 and 4 is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 and 6 is 6. 8 and 3 is 11. And now it's time to count our decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I start here and I move it back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Terrific. Because we're working with decimals, we're essentially dividing there. So we're moving our decimal point to the left. The signs are the same, so the answer is positive, and the answer is 11.6424. Terrific. Before we move on to dividing fractions, I just want to point something, dividing decimals, sorry. I just want to point something out with fractions. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 60 divided by 30, also 2. 600 divided by 300, also 2. In fact, 600 billion divided by 300 billion is also going to be 2. It doesn't matter. All I've done here is I've multiplied that by 10 again, and as long as I'm doing to the top what I'm doing to the bottom, then I'm going to end up with the same answer. And the reason that's important is when we start dividing decimals, we don't want the number that we're dividing by to be a decimal. We want it to be a whole number. So I'm going to move that to the right one pace, so it becomes 4. So essentially I've just multiplied it by 10. So what I've done to this one, I've got to do to the other, and I've got to move that one pace, essentially also multiply it by 10. So then I get 4 into 8 to 0.6. Excellent. So 4 into 8 goes twice, 4 into 2, 0. Keep my decimal. Carry my little 2. 4 into 26, can't do 4 into 26. Can do 4 into 24, that's 6 times. So add another place value, and I'm also going to carry from this, 6 times 4 is 24. I'm also going to carry my extra little 2, which is left over from there. 4 into 20 goes 5 times. So the answer to this division is 20.65. Cool. Let's have a little look at one more. 1.1715 divided by negative 0.22. Again, this is the number I'm dividing by, and it's really hard if it's not a whole number. So let's multiply that by 100 this time. I've moved my decimal point twice. I'm multiplying by 100. And that's cool, provided I do the exact same thing over here and multiply that by 100. So now I've got 22 into 117.15. And here's a chance to remember some long division. So let's go. I'm not a genius, I worked this out before. So I know that 22 goes into 117 5 times. And this was a negative. So my answer is going to be negative. I know that 22 goes into 117 5 times. In fact, I might show you how I do this on the calculator as I'm going. So first I just started with, obviously 11's not going to work, so 117 divided by 22. My answer was 5 with a big long decimal. So 5. 5 times 22 is 110. 110. So 117 minus 110 leaves 7. Then I'm going to carry down my 1. 22 into 71. 71 divided by 22. I get 3. Decimal point, 3. 3 times 22 comes to 66. 71 minus 66 leaves me with 5. Now I need to bring down my 5. 22 into 55 is 2. 2 times 22 is 44. So that leaves 11. I'm going to need another decimal place so I can steal its 10. 110 divided by 22 comes to 5. So when we talk about using your calculator, we're talking about using your calculator for each step of the working. You'd need to show me each step of the working to get full marks. Terrific. I hope that's helpful.